Hi, my name is Kirk Peter, and we are here today to talk about the merger between Ticketmaster and Live Nation. These two companies are the two major players in the live event world. Live Nation is the world's largest concert promoter, and they own about 140 concert venues. Some of the artists that they represent are Jay-Z, Madonna, and Shakira. And Ticketmaster is one of the world's largest ticketing companies. And they have acquired a company called Frontline Management, and they manage artists like Christina Aguilera and the Eagles. This negotiation provided both vertical and horizontal integration for both companies. Horizontal integration is when two competing parties or companies come together to work together. And vertical integration is when two companies have a problem, separate problems, and by coming together, both problems can be solved, or all the problems can be alleviated. Identifying the positions. Live Nation needed to start selling tickets for their events, and they needed an avenue to do that, so they developed their own ticketing company called Live Nation Ticketing, which proved to be not really that effective. Ticketmaster needed to start selling merchandise, promoting, and booking shows for their artists. Without working with Live Nation, they weren't able to reach a lot of the market that their artists had. Identifying interest. Ticketmaster had an interest in purchasing Live Nation early on, but Live Nation was not really poised at the idea at first. Knowing that Ticketmaster had some history of some scalping and stuff like that. Some of the negotiation techniques and concepts used in this negotiation were mutual benefit. The mutual benefit in this situation for both companies was that Live Nation, by working with Ticketmaster, would have a strong ticket selling company under their wing. And for Ticketmaster, they would be able to be working with a company that is already strong with promotion, merchandising, and artist management. If things didn't go the way that either party wanted to go, they would have a BATNA. And the BATNA for Ticketmaster would be to use their artist tours as a way to make more revenue. So they would book more tours, and then on those tours, they can make all the tickets sold, exclusively sold through Ticketmaster. This way, everybody has to buy tickets from them, and the money always goes to them. They can use this extra revenue gain to develop their promotions division and help them acquire more venues so that they wouldn't have to lean on Live Nation. In Live Nation's case, their BATNA would be to focus on developing their ticketing company into a competitor for Ticketmaster. Both companies were major players in the live event world. Both parties played major roles in this negotiation. Both parties needed each other in order to grow and achieve more success. Even though Live Nation had their own ticketing company, it's better to be a master of one trade rather than a jack of all trades. The statuses of each of the parties before this negotiation were in good standing. The music industry and the record sales were going down because of the emergence of digital media and the internet and streaming. So artists were focusing on their live events and shows to gain more revenue. One thing that went well in this negotiation was Live Nation decided to work with Ticketmaster early on in their development. Both parties were on the same page before the negotiation even happened. This allowed for the negotiation process to go a bit smoother. Ticketmaster didn't have to sell the rights to their name, and they got to keep their brand. So that was good for them. One thing that went wrong is that the Department of Justice had to get involved. Both companies weren't able to go through with the original terms that they had. I feel that there was an agreement reached. Ticketmaster would become a part of Live Nation while still attaining their brand. The new company would be Live Nation Entertainment. Live Nation would hold 50.1% of the market shares, and Ticketmaster would hold about 49.99%. The CEO of Live Nation, Michael Rapino, would become CEO of Live Nation Entertainment, and the CEO of Ticketmaster, Irving Asoff, would become the executive chairman of the company. I feel like this agreement would foster a long-term meaningful relationship, and it already has. Since 2009, Live Nation has been able to compete with Warner Chappell Music Group and Universal Music Group. It has become the second largest music company in the industry next to Universal.